To meet this gentleman almost 6 years ago when I first got started. I drove up to Baltimore. He was doing a meeting, and he was a little bigger then, but he slimmed down. You make a lot of money, you either gain weight or you get sexy. And this gentleman has lost weight, looking good, making the money, having a good time, enjoying life, and that's none other than our own Mr. Frank Eufemia.
Thank you, Kendall. That's funny. I think being in the field 6, 7 days a week for 10 years will definitely put some weight on you because you're constantly eating. You get those. Anybody ever ate a hot dog at a gas station? Like
Yeah,
that's the
man.
kind of food we ate on a regular. And so I'm trying to get, I want to see people. Oh, there we go. So that was my life. But yes, I've actually lost 70 pounds, Kendall, since probably maybe about this time. Nah, it's been about a year, slow and steady. But thank y'all for hopping on and sharing this time with me. There are a few things I want to go over that I think can truly like who wants to build a business here? Raise your hand or drop a number one in the chat. If you're looking to build a business that's that's profitable, that lasts for a long to sustainable, that it gives you freedom, allows you to do things for your family that most could only dream of. All right, there's a lot of ones in here. All right, so this I'm going to lead off with this question. I'm a brand new agent. How many leads a week am I buying and from where and what kind? Give me your answers. Put them in the chat because y'all are muted. I'm sorry, I can't deal with people unmuting. It freaks me out. How many? Give me numbers. Give me to the T what I need to buy. Let me open this up so I can see at least 500 inbounds. Okay. 150, 200 age goat, 100 to 200, 1K goat. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell y'all. FFL National, Success Zone, all these folks here, we've seen our most explosive growth when I ask a question and I can take 60 people, 600 people, and y'all give me the same answer. Like, who is at conference? Raise your hand. Y'all heard of Wolfpack? Y'all hear that name chanted at conference? I think Stanley got MVP of FFL last year. I know you heard Playbook, right? You ask any of those guys a simple question. What do I start with? I'm a brand new agent. How many leads do I get? What kind of leads are they? And where am I getting them? Once y'all and listen, I'd love to have it company wide. Y'all are independent, so I can't tell you what to do. This is your business. Run it how you want. I can tell you what worked for us. I can tell you what helped us take this thing from 25,000 a month in the beginning to 6, 7 million a month. I can tell you what that was, but I can't go, you have to do this. I wish, and there were a lot of times in the business where I wish I could absolutely go, you have to do this or you're fired. Our life would be so much easier and y'all would make so much more money because we're sitting here at a mile high view of everything going on. Like if I coach football, so I use a lot of football comparisons. When I was coaching football, I would stand on the sideline. I could see so much, but I always had someone, one of my coaches, if I had my son there, someone I knew, that knew football, stand up in the bleachers as high as they could get to tell me if I was missing anything, a formation, a tweak, a possible weakness in their defense, because you see more from an elevated stance. That's the way we see this business. So if y'all could get on the same page like that, okay? And if I had a new agent and he reached out to Kendall and Kendall goes, boom, you're going to get 150 age leads, final expense. You're going to dial 350 times a day for the first 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. If they give me their schedule and they're not full-time, I'm not working with them. Now that's me. I don't have time to work with people that are part-time. I'm looking to help people build a business. But for y'all, if they give you their schedule and they have a job and they got 4 days to give you $350 a day, $350 a day, no less than that. Period. End of story. 150 aged final expense leads. That's it. And go. I'm sorry. And like, here's the challenge with that. Mike has done so well generating these leads. We have like Stanley Smith, MVP of Family First Life. His agency buys more leads than any other agency at Family First Life. And my man makes $700,000 a month. 700, not a year, a month. And it's not like, so the challenge for us is, yeah, Mike's now a lead company. It wasn't the intention when we started. The intention when we started doing leads was, dude, I got tired of agents getting ripped off at other companies who sold bad leads, who sold them to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys who didn't care about the quality, who didn't care if they were old. They would take 2-month-old leads, sell them to you as brand new leads and charge you $40, $50 per lead. So I went to Mike, I said, please, can you help me? Because I know you can do it. I know you hate to do it, but can you help me help everybody? Because if I could have done it, I would have. I have no idea what I'm doing. So the challenge is, y'all, like it gets to be familiar, like and I've seen this, like we were hesitant to do it, but it was so bad because we went from mortgage heavy mailers to Facebook final expense leads, and mail wasn't available. And the Facebook final expense leads were god awful. So we were drowning. We didn't have a choice. But I've seen other agencies do it where agents get a little, aggravated or I don't want to say envious of the guy doing the leads because they think he's making all this money. And that's not why we did this. I'm letting y'all know now. And if y'all would trust me on this and get consistent with your lead flow, and y'all could scream the same exact message, because now what do you got? You got ILC leads. Okay, GOAT will be an ILC, but that's fine. You got I don't even know, lead gurus. You got some other lead companies out there that, dude, trust me, I talk to people every day. Like, and when I tell you every day, because the deal with Mike was, you do this, I'll help you. Because I know there's going to be issues. So I handle a lot of the issues. People call me when they're pissed, when they're happy, when they're sad, most of the time when they're pissed. And I always go, well, where were you getting leads before? So-and-so. Well, why don't you just go back to them? Because they were terrible. Well, why are you here? Because your leads are great. Why are you calling me then? I'm just letting y'all know we have to, as a group, as an organization, get consistent on how we get brand new agents started, what they need to call, what they need to buy, how many they need to buy, how many phone calls they need to make, and how bad it's going to be for the first 90 days. This is going to absolutely suck. If you're a bitch, quit. Pardon my French. That's the type of person I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone that's going to take, 20 minutes every 3 dials to go to the bathroom or cry, curl up in the corner and piss on themselves when someone yells at them. I'm looking for hungry, motivated people. And the reason why the young folks in this industry, in this company specifically, are killing it is because they're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old, and they don't give a shit. You can tell them no, you can hang up on them, you can cuss them out. They don't care. The problem is when you get a little older, you get this chip on your shoulder and thinking like people need to respect. I'm getting disrespected. People need to respect me. They hung up on me. I'm aggravated. Like, who cares? Like, absolutely who cares? I remember when I got in the mortgage business at 22 years old, we were calling just sheets of people with a name and a phone number, and our job was to get their social security number inside of 10 minutes. Like, what? And I didn't care. Like, I was excited to be on the phone because I saw Mercedes, I saw Lexuses, the CEO and a couple people under had Ferraris. I'm like, oh hell, I want that. So I can deal with someone yelling at me on the phone. I can deal with someone not answering the phone. I can deal with someone porching me, which was what we did back in the day. I can deal with someone cussing me out because I was so excited to get somewhere. Y'all gonna get that energy and that feeling back in you, because if you believed in this business as much as I knew it could work for you, you'd run through a wall to get it, like without a shadow of a doubt. And that's frustrating for the big, managers and the top producers here who are trying to help y'all make money. Like, we want to beat our head against the wall. We're like, it's not that complicated. Like, it truly isn't that complicated. And some of y'all that are brand new being like, screw you, it's complicated. No, it's not complicated. It's hard, but you can choose your hard. Like, when I got out of high school, I went to college for a semester. I played spades in the cafeteria every day. And listen, this is a transparent call. I sold weed in a class called Beatles Mania. I got rid of my whole stash in one class. It was 45 minutes a day. And then I went to the cafeteria and played space for the rest of the week. So needless to say, I failed. My dad was like, you either got to go to school or you got to get a job. So I was definitely not going back to school because that didn't work out so well. So I went to job as a plumbing mechanic, uh, HVAC guy. And it wasn't really HVAC, but it was plumbing and mechanics. So we would do like hospitals with big boiler rooms and 6, 8, 12-inch pipe. They were huge buildings. And I got to play with a blowtorch and a welding machine all day long and saws, and it was great, right? Um, but it was great for like the first year. And I'm like, this shit's for the birds. In the winter, it was cold, like freezing cold. And y'all know me. I'm always hot. I spent at least 2 winters straight telling myself I was hot when it was 20 degrees and we're in these wind tunnels and I'm chilled to the bone because I wasn't heavy back then. I was probably at the weight I'm at now. And I would be shivering. And my boss was like, dude, you can tell yourself you're hot, you'll be hot. I'm like, I did that for 2 winters straight. And eventually I was always hot. Like, you can't get me cold. Now I lost this weight, Kendall. I'm a little chilly sometimes. This is kind of freaking me out. I walk outside, be like, ooh, I ain't ever worn a coat in my life. I'm thinking about buying a coat. But you could choose your hard. That was hard. Like a 20-foot piece of 6-inch steel pipe weighs 320 pounds. Like, that's hard, picking that up and getting it 15 feet in the air in some hangers and making sure it don't fall on you and kill you. Like, that's hard. Picking up the phone, that's easy. Having someone tell you no and brushing it off and moving on to the next, that's easy. So we have to get on the same page if we want this thing, if you and not like because we're good. Our team's growing. You saw the numbers. But if you're trying to build a business, and I saw a lot of ones in here, if y'all want this thing to work, you need to make it so crystal clear that if anybody on your team calls anybody else on your team, they get the same message. Because that's what agents do. They'll call me and they'll be like, ask me a question. Hey, what do you think? I have 7 leads left from last week. And a couple from the week before. Should I just call those before I spend another $1,500? I'd be like, no, buy leads. Like, first thing you do every week is buy leads. They don't like that answer to hang up. They call Kendall. Kendall says the same thing. They don't hang up. They'll call Timmy, and Timmy be like, oh no, you should definitely call those. Get your money back before you buy leads. Guy got what he answered. He got the answer he was looking for. Hence, he doesn't buy leads. Hence, he goes broke. This is what we have going on. And I think it's consistency is key in this business. Consistent message is key. And I remember, like, when we were rolling before COVID, all that stuff, everything was face to face. It was 40 leads a week, 30 appointments, no less than 10 grand submit. That's it. That was the formula. You got 40 leads a week. That was brand new. Now, if it was age, we had a whole chart. It would have been like 150 age leads to set 30 appointments to meet with 15 people to close 10, right? That was the numbers. Kendall, if you solve that now, I'll send you $500. I'm watching you with the Rubik's
Hey,
Cube.
look, I've been working on it for 2 days, man. I'm gonna get it, man. I couldn't get it as a kid, but I'm gonna get it as an adult.
I got one sitting on my desk. Like, yeah, they're good for folks like you and I. So see, I even lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So we had it down to a T of science. So when everybody came in, like, there was no wondering or confusion. I think we have raise your hand if you're fairly new and you're a little bit confused. And I'm not like, I'm not mad. I'm not gonna get mad at the guy that recruited you or brought you in. But give me a hands up or drop me a 1 in a comment if you're just a little bit confused and you're fairly new. You're not sure exactly what to do. Okay, Amika. See, that should never happen. That shouldn't happen. Because Amika should be able to call any of y'all or should be able to hop in the dials and go, hey, I'm brand new. What do I do? Simple. Go get yourself 150 age final expense leads out of GOAT. Get on the phone. Here's the script, $350 every day. Every day. Like, Amika, are you confused after that? What else do you need to know? What carriers to write? No, we have like a underwriting guideline. It's not that complicated. In fact, we lead with Americo. They go with Americo. If they get approved, we go right through Americo. If they don't, you call the hotline. Someone will go, hey, here you go. This is what you write. Oh, type insulin dependent diabetic with neuropathy. Got it. Here's where you go. or had cancer 2 years ago. This is where you go. Like we have support for all that, but the basis of what we do is leads, schedule, phone script, mindset. Okay. The best thing for mindset is to keep your ass busy. I mean, it makes everything better. Like who's had a day where they were grinding, like from the time they got out of bed to the time they went back in that bed. And when you laid your head down, you're like, whew, that felt good. But then you have a day like where you were procrastinating, you could have got a little bit more done or a lot more done than you did, and you get in bed and your head's spinning. You're like your mind's racing. You're like, I should have done this. I should have done this. That ain't healthy. It ain't healthy. So for me, it's like, yeah, everybody's like mindset. Yeah, I got it. That's you got to have a positive mindset in anything you do, really anything. So that's your so like step number one. That's on y'all. There are podcasts you can watch. There's books you can read. You should be doing all of it. A book you should start every day out is with the Bible. And if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. We do here. And I ain't mad at you, but that's what we believe. And then maybe some self-help stuff. How to manage your time, how to control your emotions, how to handle money. There's a million of them. How to sell. There's tons of them out there. In fact, if you need some, let me know. I'll give you a list of a few. But if we can control those four things, your team will go from just creeping to running, and it'll happen really fast. And then what will happen? That's a great book. What will happen is they'll start to grow some excitement. And then you'll get new people coming in who will be excited just because everybody else is excited. And then maybe some of these people that have been doing it for a while aren't so excited, but then new people come in and they're getting really excited and they're getting attention because they're killing it. Then the people that are already here that aren't getting any more attention because they're not excited start to get excited again because they need the attention. Like it's like this. We complicate the hell out of this business and we need to stop. I'd be willing to bet, and I'm a betting man. Y'all know that. Oh, and by the way, we got an NCAA bracket, March Madness pool. If y'all want to join, shoot me a text. I'll send you the link. It's $1,000 an entry, but it's going to pay out a good chunk of change. Let me show. People start putting stuff in the chat, and I get sidetracked. Oh, how do I hide that? Get out of here. I can't. All right, let me hide it. All right, there we go. So, does that all make sense for y'all? Like, because I really want you guys to get this. And even if you start, like, and first thing I would do when we get off this call or tomorrow morning, because Trey's calls tonight, and I would definitely be on that. I'd be on that call every night. If I hit my production goal, if I didn't, I'd be on there at least twice a week for a couple reasons. You get to hear somebody that's a master at explaining our business. You get to hear him do it. And you get, yeah, and I know he brings guests on, so you get to hear multiple people and bring a guest. Thank you, Jesse. And the more you hear it, the more belief you have in it. Like if any of y'all sat around myself or Jamie or Kendall or Mike or Amaka, like there's all these, I don't want to start naming people. Jesse, I'll miss them. And you just were around us and you heard us talk about this all day long, you would be fired up out of your mind. And your belief level would go through the roof. Because that's truly all this is. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. It's the oldest saying in the world, but it's so true. So there's nothing and I have like I wish. Let me see if my buddy's on here. Let me see if Nick is on here. Nick, if you're on here, raise your hand. I know I saw you. There you are. I'm gonna unmute Nick. I'm putting you right on the spot, buddy. Are you there? Can you say something?
Yeah, what up?
Okay. So, Nick, you've been doing this for how long?
A year and like 4 months,
A
probably.
year and 4 months. Who is the hardest person on you?
Me,
You. How good is that done for you?
pretty bad.
Pretty bad. And if I have any type of inclination, a lot of y'all are hard on yourselves, right? You think you should be further along than you are. You think your numbers should be bigger. Your closing ratio should be better. Your pitch should be better. But you're right where you're supposed to be. And the minute you realize that, all of that pressure of what so-and-so is doing and what see, expectations are the root of all evil. I mean, They're the root of all evil. Trust me, I know, because I set expectations constantly and they never get met. So I stopped setting them. Like, seriously, stop setting them. And that's good for business. That's good for a relationship. That's good for, like, we're having some work done at our house that they told us it was going to be 6 months. I thought it was going to be 9. Didn't tell the wife that because she thinks it's going to be done in 4. It's going to be 9 months. She's mad beyond belief because her expectations were 6. Now, they told her 6, but I knew that was not true because contractors never finish when they say they're going to finish. But her expectations were, oh, this is going to be done by this date, and I can do this, this, and this. I was like, you better not plan any of that because I have a feeling it's not going to happen. Expectations. Nick's expectations were, I should be doing 50K a month. I've been doing this a year and 4 months. Shit, I didn't do 50K a month until I was in this business for 5 years. 5 years. But now the attitude's changed. Nick, what happened last week? What you write?
10 grand.
10 grand.
2008.
10,000 to what? 10,000 what?
$10,008.
10,000, and I throw that $8 in there. It means everything. What changed, Nick, from just 2-3 months ago till last week? Because I know you've told me, but I want you to tell them what changed for you.
I lowered my expectations a little bit.
Okay.
That was part of it. I just haven't been as hard on myself.
Okay. And we'll get to that. What else did you change about your conversations and everything you're doing on a daily basis?
I'm just caring more about the person I'm speaking with. Like, I don't use a script no more, and
He
just
doesn't
asking
use a
more
script
questions to
anymore
try and
now.
understand them.
So don't hang up and go, I don't need a script. Like, he's been doing it for a year and 4 months. He knows the script. At some point, this has to become more than just a script. It's, hey, I'm talking to Heather. Heather, what do you need? Like, I'm here to help you. How can I help you? Not, hey, Heather, this is Frank with the Final Expense Benefit Center. You're going to die. Do you want to be buried or cremated? Like, dude, how generic is that? We're human beings. If I wanted that shit, I could get AI to do that all day long. Like, seriously, if it would work, then the insurance companies wouldn't need y'all. They would just program AI to do that and have empathy and emotion and be able to build a connection, but they can't. So Nick lowered his expectations, which I want to hit on that too, because his expectations were so high, and his lead flow and activity weren't there to meet that, and his mindset. So if you come to me and go, I'm going to issue $2,000 a week, I'm going to be like, your expectations are way low. You need to raise those goals up. But if you go $10,000 a week, that's what you should be. That if you're brand new, your goal should be get to $10,000 a week within the first 12 to 18 months. 12 to 18. Not the first 2 to 3 days, not the first 2 to 3 months. 12 to 18 months, get to $10,000 submit a week. That's it. And then once you understand how to do that, you get better, first of all, at handling objections. You get better at having conversations, caring about people, like Nick said, listening to what they're saying, giving them a solution to their problem. All that becomes better, so that now when I go from spending $1,500 a week to $2,500 a week, I double my premium typically. It's not a 1-for-1. It's not like I got to go from $1,500 to $3,000. He could go from $1,500 to $2,200 and still double his premium because he's getting better at his craft. And that's all this is. Wash, rinse, repeat. Keep doing it until you get so good at it, you can't fail. Does that mean you're going to close everybody? No. It just means you know the ones you're going to close and you do close them. You know the ones you're not going to close and you don't care. Like, you gave it everything you had, but there's some people that nobody's going to close. The good Lord himself could come down here and pitch them life insurance, be like, I ain't ever going to die. Be like, I'm watching. You're actually going to die in 3 days. You should get the life insurance today. No, I don't believe you. And then there's 20% of the people that will buy from a dog. You could literally tie a note around a dog's neck, knock on the door, run away, and the dog's neck says, hey, you want to buy life insurance? I'd be like, oh, yeah, I was just thinking about buying life insurance this morning. And then you're 60% in the middle. That's where you get so good, you'll close 30, 40% of those people. That's where the real money comes in. And it'll become 50, 60, 70% of those people, the ones that are up for grabs. The low-hanging fruit's simple. That's why the 350 dials is so important as a new agent. And I mean 350. Now 350. I call Dragon once, let it ring 3 times, hang up, call him back. That's 2 dials. Let it ring 3 times, call back again. That's 3 dials. So I'm not saying like 300 different phone numbers, but 300 dials, 350 dials. And if I look at most people's phones at the end of the day, and I'm not talking, see, I don't think anybody needs a dialer when they're brand new. I don't. And this is the other part of we all need to be preaching the same thing. Dude, give me a hand phone. Shit, if you got a landline, I'd be using both. I'd be dialing from one. While that's ringing, I'm dialing from another, ready to hit send. Because it's just an activity business. The more swings at the plate I get, the bigger chance I have of hitting that baseball. And all we're trying to do is get as many swings in as possible for the first 90 days. If you can stick this out for 90 days and you do exactly that, work 6 days a week, 350 dials a day for 90 days, there, I can't see you failing unless you're a complete schmuck. Unless you really don't care about people or you just have a condescending air about you where people don't like you. Because the only reason you're not closing someone is they don't trust you or they don't like you. That's it. Because everybody needs help. They filled out a form requesting help. Like, can we get past the whole, well, they didn't want it or they didn't need it? Bullshit. They filled out a form that says life insurance. All of them say life insurance. Veterans, final expense, mortgage protection, truckers, IULs. It all says life insurance. And I get those calls too. Yeah, the first 6 people I talked to said they didn't do it. They're lying to you because you sounded the way you sound when you called me. I wouldn't tell you I did it either. I don't want to work with you. You make me want to slip my wrist and sit in a warm bathtub. Like, can we get some excitement here? Can you not act like the world is crumbling, the sky's falling? Like, just be happy that you're here. You change those little bit of things, this thing becomes super easy. Like, I've been watching Wetmore, John Wetmore, and if y'all don't know who he is, you should follow him or look him up on social media. He's been here at Family First Life since we started it. He's one of the first, 9 people that were here with us, and he's been through all the stuff. And he's like, I'm trying to build a base shop, so I'm back on the phones. I need to learn the telesale stuff because he was out of the field before it went virtual. And I listened to him, and I'm like, dude, it's like he didn't skip a beat. Like, he's just confident, he jokes, he has fun, and the people love him. They love him. And I'm going like, dude, he's never done telesales a day in his life, but he's been in sales. So what? He's just communicating with people. That's all we're doing is communicating with people. You ask enough questions, they'll give you everything you need to make a sale. The problem is most of us, I'm asking a question like, hey, Heather, okay, so where do you work, Heather? And as she's answering, I'm thinking of another question to ask her instead of just shutting up, shutting my brain down and listening. And then, oh, okay, that's cool. Then follow up with a question after. Like, slow down a little bit. And you can play this game with anybody. Like, just play it with your spouse. Like, every time they ask you a question, ask them a question back. See, don't now do it long enough to get good at it, but don't do it long enough to wind up sleeping on the sofa because they will get aggravated. But it's a good game to teach you how to start asking questions. And there's a million questions you can ask when you're in the home. But I wanted to hit on that kind of stuff because this, for me, this is such an easy, incredible industry if we're all speaking the same language. And the challenge with us not is just people are confused. And confused people do nothing. And we need more people doing something. More people. So if I were y'all, I would call Mike and go, hey, what y'all got for me? You got, is there anything we can get for my group? Can I get a discount code? Can I call you if we have any issues? Like, you're going to get 1 of 3 people if y'all call GO. It's going to be Mike, actually 4, Mike, Jamie, Jeremy, or me. And good news is, like, we're fighting for y'all. Like, I deal more time, I spend more time dealing with people not on our team, which again, I don't care because they're Family First Life people, but hell, I'd rather y'all win. I'd rather y'all win. Not that I don't want them to win. There's enough winning for everybody to win to go around, but hell, why don't we set the tone here at FFL? Why don't Rashad and Marcus and Jordan build a $2 million a month agency by the end of 2026? Why don't Jesse build a $2 million agency by the end of 2026? Dean, why don't he do that? Hell, he knows how to write enough insurance and sell annuities. It's just not that complicated. So I'm going to open this up for questions for y'all because that was the message I wanted to get out. And I don't want to dilute that because it's uber important. And if y'all are open, like we can do a call with the leadership, like leadership. So like if you're not writing 40, 50 grand a month, or you don't have a team doing, 150 plus a month, I love you, but you're not a leader yet. You can get there. We can do a call and figure out, hey, what's the message we want to deliver? Because I'm not in the field. Like now, again, I guarantee it. If anybody's brand new, they buy 150 age final expense leads from GOAT. They make $350 a day, work 6 days a week, and they're on the calls, like all the calls that were on this, and they have a positive mental attitude and they're excited. I guarantee it, you're going to make money. I really do. But y'all are in the fight. A lot of y'all, some of y'all aren't still in the field, but a lot of y'all are doing this daily, and you know what works. We just got to get everybody else to buy into it. Well, what do I do for the people that can't afford leads? I don't know. Buy them for them if you like them. That's what we do. That's what we did. Hell, there was a point in time where FFL anointed the 9 of us that were here when it started, as VPs. And then we bought all of the leads, and then our agents paid us. Well, you know how that worked. Jesse called me on a Thursday and be like, hey, bro, shit, I had a bad week. I'll hit you next week. I'm like, okay. And then Mike called me on a Tuesday, be like, hell, if this annuity don't fund, I'm going to have to hit you next week. Before you know it, I'm eating $16, $17, $18, $19,000. So like if someone's not in a financial situation where they can do this and put in five, six, Trey knows, $600-700, dude, I'll help them out. Now, if I help them, they're going to be on the, like, there's parameters. Like we get on live dials at 8:30 and we're dialing at 8:30. So you should probably get on a quarter after, get your mind right, get your leads out. Because 8:30, you make your first dial. You miss that 2 days in a row, you're done. Like there's parameters, 350 dials every day. I need to see your tracker every day. You don't do that, you're done. And I'm not doing that for everybody. It's people that I really, connect with or think is going to, might have an opportunity, or not an opportunity because everybody has the opportunity, that I think has what it takes to do it, make it in this business. But I picked some wrong. Like I'm a bet man. If I knew every game that was going to come out, trust me, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all. I love gambling. I would be betting all of my money on every game every day if I knew the outcome. So I don't. Sometimes I pick a loser. Y'all ever watch horse racing? Y'all ever bet on horses? Sometimes your horse trips. Sometimes it breaks a leg. Like it was winning, and then all of a sudden it's on the ground and they shoot it. It's like, what just happened? I was a lock. So there is no such thing as a lock, but that's what you do. You help people out. Hell, you all probably have enough leads in your inventory to go, hey, this is the other thing. You can't complain. Like if I'm going to give you free leads, the minute you bitch, you're done. I'm out. I ain't got time for that. Be appreciative, be excited, and it's a lead. And there's people on this call that make I think KG's one of them, makes a killing off of age leads. You know why? You know what Corinne says to herself? Hell, I can buy age leads. These guys calling them before me ain't that good. There's definitely money in there. If I unmuted Corinne right now, I guarantee it, that's what she would say. So it's how you present them. Age leads. No, age leads are just as good as brand new leads. It just takes more dials to get a hold of the people. That's all it is. That's the only difference. Once you get them on the phone, it's the same thing. Once you get them on the phone, it's the exact same thing. So any questions, y'all? Yeah, KG's up in that. Any of y'all have any questions I can answer? No, I'm good with that too. We can wrap it up and rip. You can't unmute, so if you have a question, you got to type it in the chat. Sorry, the noise, somebody always comes in and is not muted and, makes me sin. So, all right, let's see what time it is. How long did I go? I didn't even see my clock. Oh, it's 6:50. Perfect. We're going to wrap up 10 minutes early. That's definitely not a question for me. That's a question for the people that go. I don't know how to do anything technology wise. Not my claim to fame. That's the other thing I want y'all to understand. Like if you're really good at something in this business, dude, stay in your lane. Like I was really good at selling mortgage protection. I mean, so I stayed in my lane. And then I was really good at handling problems. Jamie was really good at organization. Now, I'm telling y'all this because I want you to understand, if I didn't have Jamie trust, I would have had a staff because I am a disaster when it comes to keeping things organized. I needed that. Y'all need to figure out what your lane is. If you're really good at talking to people and really good at sales, but you're a mess from an organization standpoint, dude, invest in an assistant. It will pay for itself inside of a month and a half. They'll save you from a chargeback. They'll save you from missing a sale that you probably should have made because you were supposed to call so and so back at 4 o'clock on Tuesday and this was Thursday and you forgot. Dude, trust me, stay in your lane. Tech's not my lane, so I stay in my lane. All right. Anything else? We good? Give me a thumbs up if we're good in the chat. Perfect. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great week. I almost cussed. I hope I have not cussed. I hope y'all are not going out. Donna, you got your hand raised. You can type your question in the chat. I will answer it if you get it in there before I wrap up with what I'm about to say. Tomorrow is like what we call a fake holiday. It's not a holiday. It's like an excuse for people to go out and get drunk and act like idiots. Like we're working all day tomorrow, just FYI. And if you're Irish, congratulations. Like I not being rude, I'm Italian. Congratulations, no big deal. Donna, same thing. Raise your hand. Just type it in the chat. I'll answer it. Tomorrow's a day for work. There will be people home tomorrow because they're going to take off. So don't waste your time. It doesn't help. And if you're over the age of 30, definitely don't waste your time because it takes you longer to recover from a hangover at 30 than it did at 20. So you'll be struggling Thursday or you'll be struggling Wednesday and Thursday because you decided to go out and try and play with the young kids who can drink all day and go to work the next morning. So anyway, the vets don't leave the house except to go out to the doctor's office. There you go. Nick said it. Vets don't leave their house unless they need to go out to the doctor's office. So appreciate y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you on Trey's call starts in about an hour and 7 minutes. If you haven't been on there, hop on there just to hear what he's got to say. It's really good. If you have been on there and you have anybody you're interested in bringing into the business, round them up and go, hey, hop on this call with me at 8. Let Trey do the work for you. This is about doing the resources. Like I always tell people, like I love my family, but a lot of times like, why do you spend money to do that? I'm like, well, first of all, like I can do anything. My grandfather was really handy, so I could build a house if I wanted to. Like what they're doing in my house, I could do it if I chose to. Plumbing, electric work, all that stuff. But I don't do it. Not anymore because it's not worth my time. It's truly not. And so like I always tell people, if you can pay somebody to do something and it costs you less than, you got to figure out your hourly rate. So like if I took Amy's numbers for the year, divided it by 52, divided it by 50, and we could go 40, but let's just say 50. And that equals $430 an hour. Well, hell, I ain't cut my grass because ain't nobody charging $430 to cut a grass, and my grass don't take but an hour to cut. I ain't doing a lot of stuff. Does that make sense? So think about this business like that. The more you start thinking about it like you are super important. Your time is super valuable. Your worth is here, not here. Then you'll start making more money, but you have to act as if you're already there. I'm not saying being irresponsible with your money. I'm not saying any of that stuff, but act as if. It'll get you a long way because I've been acting this way since I was a kid. I promise you. In fact, my dad pulled out a note. I wrote a note when I was a kid that said, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. And I was 7 or 8, he told me. And he gave it to me a couple of years ago. He was like, you were a little late, but you did it, kid. I was like, yeah, damn right I did. You know? So it's like I've been acting this way. And it's just like people go like, I'm not like that. No, it's just a choice. It truly is just a choice. To be confident's a choice, to have work ethic is a choice, to be angry is a choice, to be happy is a choice. Dude, I choose to be happy, excited, and I choose to make a lot of money and work hard. That's it. It's my choice. It's your choice too. So I appreciate y'all hopping on, sharing some time with me. If y'all need anything, let me know. Don't forget to hop on Trey's call. He's going to crush it. I have no doubt. Thank you, Trey, by the way, for doing what you do week in and week out. You always seem to commit to these things that make the rest of us that have been here as long as you have go, shit, we're not working hard enough. So thank you for that, Trey. I truly do mean it. So appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.